Hey, Steelers Nation. Welcome to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. Got a great lineup set up for you guys. We're going to talk about latest rumors and news about the Steelers, some signings. Aaron Rodgers is in camp and some storylines from minicamp. So we're looking forward to jumping right in that. So stick around. Here we go.
Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Yes, and here we are back for another week. I want to apologize because we missed last week, but hey, the three amigos are here tonight. My man TA and Freight Train, fresh off the rails, to be with us tonight. Welcome, guys. How you been, man?
JT, I just want to start by saying I'm really beginning to love to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I never knew how much drama could be so soothing for the soul. I just feel good to be here right now because I feel it in my soul that this is the right place to be, full of Dramaville in the Berg, baby. And I can't wait to get talking about it.
Not yet. That in the least. Hey, want to give a shout out to producer in the house tonight, behind the scenes running it. What's up, buddy?
Hey there. Good. How about yourself?
Good. All right. See you later.
He gone. He gone. Hey, you better find a job while you're gone.
He's a graduate, man. So you guys looking for a media guy, look him up. Media marketing, man. Anyhow. Yeah, so glad to have you back, Freight Train. We were all off last week, took a little hiatus. And wouldn't you know, there was big news popped up. For how many weeks we're sitting there hijacked and in purgatory land, not knowing who our quarterback's going to be, just proceeding as normal, like nothing bad. And then lo and behold, we decide like everybody's busy that week. What happens? We've been waiting over 2 months.
2 months. Last time I checked, this is June, JT. It's like 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been like half a year, dude.
Well, let me rewind that again.
I'm beginning to feel like Rip Van Winkle over here. Fucking wake me up. I'm over here sleeping under a tree.
Yeah.
No, beard's 4 foot long by now. God, if we'd started growing beards whenever he said he was coming, we'd look like
can't grow
a
beard,
bunch of Amishmen.
so I'd have just looked the same. But
all right, so the man, the myth, legend, everything is right in Pittsburgh land, right?
Well, not everything. Aaron's not happy with the new helmet for the NFL.
Yeah.
After 21 years, his helmet does not pass the safety standards.
I feel like I've heard this before with another former Steeler with helmet.
Haven't we heard this before with another drama?
But hold on a second.
Player.
Rodgers ain't taking the helmet out to Earl Scheib yet to get it painted to make it look great. I mean, that could be coming next. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. They start scraping away and they find a little jet green or Green Bay green. We know what's happening. Him and AB are together in cahoots.
Yeah. No, I just can't believe this actually happened. You know, it was like a roller coaster ride. You know, at one point we're like, oh, he's definitely coming. And then we got to the peak of the roller coaster, start going down, and we're like, maybe he's going to retire. I think he's going to retire. You know,
you're open.
Now we find out he got married, kept it all hush hush. He's now a married man. And, we kind of went away from it. And we're like, okay, well, if it's not Rodgers, now we're going to move on to Kirk Cousins possibly. Maybe Kirk Cousins is available. And then tried to convince ourselves, you know what? Screw it. let's ride with Mason, ride or
Right,
die.
Mason.
Let's take the high
Mason train.
see what happens. And now we're back to this. It's just been a roller coaster ride already for this team. I feel like, this season has already started. I'm already wore out, and we haven't even played the game yet.
You tired of the rope-a-dope already?
I mean, it's round 4, and I'm woozy. TA, I'm woozy. I'm about to go
You're
down.
woozy?
Start
Well-
beating, dude. I'm down for a 3 count.
Hey, look,
You know
I
what?
can't wait to find out that he's not married. He just put the ring on just to fool everybody.
Yeah.
Just to fulfill the excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just run it the whole way out.
Right.
Bring on and everything. Let's get
I mean, when he comes
Photoshop some chick in with him and a tux.
when he be the chick, you know what's going to be? It's going to be a German Shepherd on a leash coming in the spring training and said, I'm going to introduce you all to my wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
my
he's friends with Manny Te'o.
Anything at this point is possible. Trust me.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't help but think about last year after the draft and everything. And then we got news on Russell Wilson. And then that weekend we got news that, hey, Fields too. And then we're like, man, I was sideways. I was so excited. And then they were like, oh, you might see this multi-quarterback package and blah, 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 blah. We saw the most boringest offense there ever was. Lo and behold, here comes Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod in the house again.
But the thing is, does
Here
this
he comes to save the day.
even move the needle for anybody?
Well, that's kind of the point that I was getting to, Freight Train. Bottom line is, I've deduced it down to this. Bottom line is, question is Aaron Rodgers a better quarterback than Mason Rudolph?
It's closer than what it used to be. You know what I mean? Like, Rodgers isn't mobile as he used to be. No. He's kind of a sitting duck back there. We don't really know if he has the same arm strength that he's had before. So, judging by how he kind of played last year compared to how Mason was for us down the stretch, I'd say it's probably maybe slightly in Rodgers' favor, but it's a closer race than what one would assume.
I tell you what, the telltale is going to be. Myles Garrett has already put Rodgers on his list to add to the graveyard. We already know Mason couldn't outrun him. Hell, he got smacked around with a helmet. Lord heaven forbid if that happens to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I'm
glad you brought that up. That was
they'll put him in a nursing home.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the arm strength goes, man, I don't know. You heard, he's slinging and winging and flinging that ball everywhere and singing while he's doing it, Freight Train. He's throwing 30-yard darts down the field.
Everybody
this
looks
looks
like a Hall of Famer.
rejuvenated man.
Hell, me and you would probably look like Hall of Fame quarterbacks in training camp, in mini camp.
As long as I'm wearing
Nobody's
shorts, I
giving
look pretty
any
good
sort
at
of
anything.
percentage of. Nobody's giving 100% effort out there.
All right, kind of like last year. We were like, okay, when was Fields coming in? Or then, and then he was going to start. Russ was going to start, and then Fields started. But then when he came back in, we were like, okay, if he shits the bed, are we going to see Fields back in?
JT,
We did not.
You know what? You know what I want out of that whole situation is I want them to be sincere and honest that move was completely smoke and mirrors, and we only made that trade to get draft capital. Because there is zero reason why Justin Fields shouldn't have saw the field again at the end of the year when we were going in a tailspin to end our season. There's no reason why he wasn't out there. That was purely to get draft capital because they knew somebody was going to take a chance on him when we didn't re-sign him, and we would get better draft compensation than what we traded to get him.
Yeah, well, no doubt.
That's what it is. We got we turned a 6th-round pick into a 4th-round pick.
Well, and let's face it, guys. I mean, he went 4-2. Did anybody see anything that said, "Wow, we got Justin Fields. What a steal! That's a deal."
Honestly,
now
TA,
he's with the Jets.
he could have easily went 5-0 or 6-0 in those starts.
He
Very
well
easily.
could have.
It was a couple of plays that got away that turned those games into losses. There, like I said, based off that, he should have came in to end the season with Russell Wilson just kind of shit the bed the rest of the season, and we at least could have seen what we had.
Well, and the thing is we as fans wanted to see what we had, but evidently those in the locker room had seen what they had.
Yeah.
That's the only other excuse. I mean, there's got to be a reason that they decided not to bring him back. And then even this whole talk of, well, they definitely wanted to bring Justin Fields back. I thought it was, but yet they weren't willing to pay him the money, but they had no interest in Russell Wilson. And quite honestly, I'm not sure if I believe anything that these news reporters put out to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we're in day 2 of the holdout, and by God, TJ Watt's on his way to the Detroit Lions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want you fans to know, JT told me I wasn't allowed to tell you because Aaron's a very secretive guy. The reason we didn't go ahead and come on last Thursday is because us 3 were right there at Acrisure Stadium carrying the contract that Aaron signed. We was his posse rolling into Pittsburgh in a Renovan by Enterprise. And if you don't believe me, ask Aditi because she's seen us as we waved by as little janitors. That's where we were at. That's why we couldn't report on it. What do you think about that, Freight Train? That is headline news right there.
That is headline news. Yeah. Somebody had to hold the bag of mushrooms so he didn't get caught with them.
That's right. Who's got the Coke?
Well, and JT, I can't believe you kept that bottle of pee warm as long as you did.
Kept it right there in a nice, warm, safe place.
But, I mean, to circle all the way back, again, this doesn't move the needle for me and whether this team's a contender or a pretender. I'm still kind of right there in the middle of not really on the edge, like on one side or the other of this team winning 9 games. You know what I mean? Like, I can easily see us going under 9 wins, and I can see us maybe just possibly striking lightning in a bottle that maybe he struggled a little bit last year coming off that Achilles injury, and now he's fully confident on it. And we got us a quality quarterback for 1 year who's a veteran that can run this offense and right the ship and kind of be that Ryan Tannehill to Arthur Smith's offense that he had in Tennessee when they went on their playoff run. But it's hard to tell what we're going to get out of this.
That's right. Shout out to Andre. It is a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. Every day is. Yeah. Well, if you ask anybody else, they'll say we're spoiled. And we are. We'll admit it. Just too bad we own 6 trophies. Oh, well. But yeah, purgatory. Here we go. Did it move the needle? Not same attitude. I did not have that excitement this year, learn about Aaron Rodgers that I had last year, knowing we were getting Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I'm just like, I'm just, my bar is very low for this ceiling.
Right.
Like who they plug in, whether it be Kirk Cousins or whatever. Russell Wilson. We had a Super Bowl MVP last year. How'd that work out?
Well, it didn't. And look, when we brought in Russell last year, I think it was safe to say after 2 years of watching him at Denver, everyone knew he was washed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He just came to Pittsburgh to prove it. Now, my fear is you talk about moving the needle. All right. Last year, is it safe to say, did anybody feel that Arthur Smith moved the needle?
Well, that's, yeah.
No, not really.
Okay.
That's right. 1B there. Yeah.
Right. Now, and I just kind of want to put this in perspective to kind of circle back around to where Freight Train was coming from. So Arthur Smith, all right, he ended up coaching Ryan Tannehill and Marcus Mariota. Now, when he was with the Titans. And honestly, Tannehill ended up taking over for Mariota. And it was a little bit of a resurgence for Tannehill. Is that safe to say?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But it was very short-lived, right? Nothing fancy. And you could almost say that maybe it was the Titans defense that helped that along.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Derrick Henry.
And Derrick Henry. Absolutely. Now, you go ahead and you go to Atlanta. All right. And you got Matty Ice Ryan. All right. He's a veteran quarterback. He was on the downslide. Really didn't do too good. But what did he do? He brought in Marcus Mariota, the same guy you benched in Tennessee. You brought him with you to Atlanta. I'm not quite sure I'm following that, but okay. And then you throw in, you drafted Desmond Ryder, who, by the way, never really ended up doing anything, even as he was utilized as a starter. And then you also had Taylor Heineke. So what is it that makes us feel really good? Is it going to be Arthur Smith running the offense? Because Arthur's already stated he's a coach. He's had a lot of quarterbacks. He's going to coach to their strengths. What is Aaron Rodgers' strength at this time, guys?
Well,
what
was his quote? What was his quote? We didn't bring in Aaron Rodgers to run the wishbone. Do you see that quote?
Right.
So let me ask you guys this, and then Freight Train, I'll let you go. Let me ask you guys this. What makes them think that having a quarterback who doesn't like motion and all that stuff and likes to go to the line from the shotgun and make his reads from there to somebody, a coach who was saying we're going to ground and pound and whatever, like, how does this work? Are we going to retool the offense this year because we have Aaron Rodgers? What are we doing?
That kind of goes into what I was getting ready to say was maybe what makes Arthur Smith's offense click is having a quarterback who has the ability to read a defense, and when Arthur Smith gives you the game plan, have the ability to audible into the right place and put people into the right places to run the right play. Maybe that's the problem that we had. Maybe that's why they didn't bring Justin back. Maybe it was true that Justin Fields doesn't know how to read a defense. And maybe Russell Wilson doesn't have that ability anymore to read what a defense is doing. So maybe having somebody like Aaron Rodgers, who's known to be able to read a defense, has won a couple MVPs, maybe that's what helps make this offense click. I don't know.
Then why did after the first Cincinnati game, where we just walked down the field, gaining chunks of yards, passing over the middle, like just dinking and dunking the whole way down there, what do? And I'll bitch about this for years to come, too. Second time around, what's he do? Run the ball. They completely went away from what worked the last time. I don't want you throwing over the middle anymore. Well, like, you can tell Aaron Rodgers don't throw over the middle?
Yeah, right.
Like, where's this going?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Throwing over the middle, which doesn't make sense to me either, because he's touted as a tight ends guru. And where does a tight end run?
Over
in the middle of the field.
I'm confused, guys. I really, truly am on where this is going. And the whole audible
but
thing.
TA, here's the thing.
Do we audible or can't we audible?
A tight end guru? What tight end in Arthur Smith's offense has had a great year? Because Jonnu Smith, I never even heard of him until this last year in Miami, where all of a sudden he did something. Kyle Pitts basically is a draft bust because he didn't do anything in Atlanta with Arthur Smith. Pat Freiermuth is basically doing nothing in Pittsburgh under this offense. So what classifies you as a tight end guru, as an offensive coordinator, when your tight ends have zero numbers?
Yeah, if you're not even utilizing them.
Look,
we just get them for blockers, dude. They're just blockers.
Yeah, they're blockers.
That's why this Jonnu Smith trade thing makes 0 sense for this team. 0 cents.
Now, I just want to throw this out there. You guys know how much I really, really respect and adhere to Pro Football Focus.
Yes.
PFF
how much value you put in that, right?
And I just want you to know that for the 2024 season, Arthur Smith was named the 5th best offensive coordinator in football.
From when?
2024.
5th ranked to get the punter on the field?
Look, hey, I'm only telling you what PFF.
You talking about from the bottom or from the top?
Because I can promise you we weren't in the top 5 points scored. I would venture to say we weren't even the top 15 in points scored.
No, it was
Check out Andre, man.
it was ugly.
Andre throwing down at the Hall of Fame.
Ooh,
You guys see him?
he's
I
got
might
some
have asked him.
Steelers merchandise. Wait a minute. Andre, I got to ask, are you the guy I seen on TikTok who was going through his Juju Smith, Deontay Jackson, Russell Wilson, Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool? Were you the guy that picked up all those jerseys and was going through them?
Yeah.
I think he got a deal on Lima Swede too.
You know what? I think I was in there too. You're right. And that wasn't even half off. That was 90.
Hey, if you find the Terrell Edmonds one, JT's been looking to pick one up.
That's my missing link there. That's so funny. I saw somebody post on, I don't know, on X they posted like, oh, what jersey do you own that makes you laugh every time you look at it? And he put up the Mittens jersey.
The number 8, baby.
Number 8. So I had to respond with a Lima Swede jersey.
All
All right. Anyhow.
Now I have to ask this, okay? Because now that it's settled in for a week, I mean, in reality, at 1365 for a washed up Super Bowl quarterback for 1 year, it's not bad. I mean, it's kind of like when I got that Joe Walsh Confessor CD in the dollar rack at the music store back in 88, man. I was excited as shit, and I still play the hell out of that CD today. To me, that's been my Hall of Famer, man. Joe Walsh and the Confessor. Now, here's the other thing. Look, we all know how we like to kind of sometimes talk, conspiracy theories in the NFL, this and the NFL that. What better storyline? Because it's never happened that a quarterback that had beaten your team in the Super Bowl comes back and wins a Super Bowl for your team. What do you think of that? Could that be the storyline? Look at JT. He's like, I can't even believe you said that. Could this man bring us a Super Bowl victory? We're all here dogging on him. Let's look at the cup is half empty here. Aaron Rodgers to the Super Bowl or bust, baby. That's
Either that or he prevents us from winning one twice in his career.
From different side to the ball.
As well. Yeah. It could be.
Hey, what did I see? Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw a stat that if Rodgers beats, is it Green Bay?
Yes, it'll be.
If Rodgers beats Green Bay, he will have beat all 32 teams in the NFL.
Yep, joining 5 quarterbacks.
Yep.
Who's done that in their career.
It's interesting. My question is, other than Metcalf, who's he thrown to?
Oh, man, that's easy. Austin Powers, baby.
Yeah, ask Arthur.
Yeah.
He's got the groove. He's been named uno numero number
dos.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's
baby
ridiculous.
Well, let's hope that, you know what? I mean, we've all been pulling for him. You know, he had that injury, it held him out. I mean, we've been pulling for. Is this his year? I hope so.
It's going to be last year if he doesn't.
I keep thinking about that touchdown that Justin Fields threw him where he broke. It was like a post pattern, and he was gone. And he hit him in stride. That was beautiful.
Yeah, for like 120 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, the key cog in all this is going to be we have to get some sort of production out of Roman Wilson to make this completely click. We need to see what we got there. And what was he, our 3rd round pick last year? Mm-hmm. I mean, we need some value there because honestly, the ticker was starting for me to kind of ticker, and then the George Pickens trade happened. That was, I think, one of the worst decisions. I think we should have held on to George for the one last year. He's leaving anyways. We would have got draft compensation for him, and you could have gave Rodgers a weapon on both sides of the ball. We dealt with a diva before for 8+ years. What's one more year with George?
Yeah, I just don't think that was going to happen, though. I think the Steelers were at wit's end with him. I think they kept it hush-hush a lot last year, but I think the damage was done. And he wanted out. He wanted out of Pittsburgh.
And here's the other thing. Tomlin's proven to be a one diva kind of guy anyways. He tried the two diva with Le'Veon and Antonio, and he decided to choose Antonio.
Yeah.
I'm
That
starting to
really
think
was
that maybe Mike Tomlin is the diva.
Hey, he very well could be. Maybe that's why Rodgers loves him so much.
And why do you think they've been keeping? Why do you think they keep bringing in veteran quarterbacks? That's just why I'm still predicting.
Because we're not good and we're not bad enough, and we're not good enough to get a quarterback.
I don't think this team can develop a quarterback. Period. And that starts with Tomlin. I don't think he wants to deal with young quarterbacks.
You have to. You have to eventually. There's no way around it. You can't just keep running old horses out here.
I agree.
There's a reason why they're falling to you is because everybody else is throwing them away. You can't always catch lightning in a bottle. It just doesn't happen that way. It's not gonna be a Tom Brady from New England situation. Okay. It's just, you have to be able to develop a quarterback.
Maybe for a year or two, you might catch lightning in a bottle. Just look like at Ray Searage for the 2013 Pirates. He was able to bring a couple guys that were past their prime in and make it work. But
I'm sorry, no Steelers fan wants to hear this, but this was our chance to hit the reset button. This was our chance to just, you know what? We don't give a rat's tail end about this consecutive season winnings bullshit. Okay. Yeah. We run Mason out there, get a high draft pick, get our quarterback, and develop them. That's the way. That's how we could have hit the reset button on all of this.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they decided to go a different route, and you've already hit upon it a couple of times. They picked up this player and let them all walk, and they've picked up extra draft capital. I mean, at this point in time, it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers went ahead and gave away 5 draft picks to move up to number 1 if need be next year to get a quarterback.
Oh, it's going to take a huge haul to move up in next year's draft.
But you know what? If they do, think about it. They've got their stockpiling picks as we talk. Stockpiling picks. And going back to the wide receivers, I mean, let's face it. How do we know that Calvin Austin can't be great? I mean, has he had a quarterback to throw to him since he's been on our team?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, we now have Aaron Rodgers. Even if he is the 41-year-old version, could he potentially throw it to him? Here's another guy, Brandon Johnson. This guy has followed our wide receiver coach around his entire career. And for whatever reason, Azani likes him. So is that a possibility? Don't forget, we still got Skowronek.
That's right.
I mean, in Skowronek, I tell you what, they brought him in some key areas last year.
He delivered.
Nobody was even paying attention to him, and the guy proved to catch his hands. And look, and then you got Roman, which we're hoping for, and you got Robert Woods, the wily old veteran. So you know what? I don't think our receivers are as bad as we think they are. I think we finally have somebody who may be able to throw the ball. But you want to know the thing that really gets me the most is Darnell Washington. Are we going to utilize him? Because
no,
Aaron's already come in and said, man, I love this guy. He reminds me of Mercedes. And Rodgers loved throwing the ball to Mercedes. Loved throwing the ball to Mercedes in his younger years. Guys, it might not be as bad as what we think is all I'm trying to get at. Look, I'm with you. I've been against the Rodgers things from day one. But he hasn't showed up all cocky. Matter of fact, if anything, the fanfare's kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah, it really has. It really has.
He did the same thing kind of in New York until the shit hit the fan, and then all of a sudden it went downhill.
Yeah,
that's going to be the key to watch right there, Freight Train. What happens when you have 1 or 2 games that go south? Will he be able to? Will Cam and TJ be able to throw him up against the locker and say, "Listen here, old man, I'm going to keep your Geritol away from you unless you get it back out there and start throwing some TDs." You talking about wearing diapers right now? We're going to put one over your head. I mean, this is a different team. And there's still a lot of veterans on here. Hell, he was even talking about Connor Hayward. He really liked the aspect of Connor's versatility. Shit, nobody talked about Connor Hayward last year. Zero, zilch. And we
You,
all
you
looked at
know,
Connor 2
TA, you
years
know who
ago.
had a, who Connor Hayward reminds me that Aaron used a lot in Green Bay.
Who's that?
Used to be a Steeler, Mr. John Kuhn.
Oh, yeah.
John Kuhn.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a Penn State guy, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He was.
Yeah.
So maybe he can be Aaron Rodgers,
Fullback?
John Kuhn in Pittsburgh.
I don't
Wishful
know.
thinking, but
I think that there might be some tweaks and twists to this. And here's the other thing, too, guys. Let's face it. If Aaron's willing to listen and not get butt hurt, and we're able to let him manage the games and he listens to Arthur, let's say even 70% of the time, and the other 30%, he throws in his flavor. And let's face it, Aaron came back for a reason. You're not a 41-year-old quarterback who came back to play 1 year, not to give it his all and go for broke. This is Super Bowl or bust, man. Whether we all want to sit here and agree or not agree, that's what's going through that old man's mind right now. This is Super Bowl or bust, and he feels he's on the best team possible. And the other thing I got to respect, looking back at this whole thing, he sat down with the Rooneys, even going back to before the coaches' meetings, and said, "Look, I got some shit I'm working out. I'm going to sign with you. You got to have faith, and we'll make it happen." It was the media who blew all this out of proportion.
right. Well, I think the important thing is we need to be in serious contention once the trade deadline gets here, because the trade deadline in the NFL is a lot different than it was, 8 to 10 years ago when teams barely made any moves. Now you've got big names being moved at the trade deadline, and you got teams like the New Orleans Saints who are in salary cap hell and could possibly dangle Chris Olave out there to get some cap relief that we could bring into this team, young wide receiver, explosive wide receiver, to get that other playmaker on the other side. There's somebody along those lines. But we have to have a good start up to that trade line for Omar to pull the trigger, to maybe use some of that draft capital to go for broke.
Okay, I like where you're thinking, because another one who's been added there to that list is Alan Lazard. Could he be one? Because Aaron does like him. I don't really see the upgrade in bringing in a Lazard, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either.
But that would be more make him feel good, kind of like bringing in Deontay Adams. But I guess where I'm going with what you're saying, because I agree. One thing that we've learned with Omar, he's not afraid to pull that trigger.
No, not whatsoever. But we have to be in serious contention to do it. You know what I mean? It can't be on the fence of contending or not contending.
So let's throw this out here. We've got another drummer we ain't even brought up yet. TJ Watt contract.
Well, wait a minute. Before you go there, I'd like to recognize Jesse. Welcome, Jesse. Thanks for the comment. We put it up there twice. Nobody commented on him.
Sorry.
But there it is there. He's just better than you guys think. I think we'd like to.
No, we heard the same thing about Russell Wilson before the season started last year.
Yeah, we kind of went
We're
down
a little bit gun shy on this show.
Russell Wilson, but we certainly hope so, Jesse. I don't know. Throw in some more feedback. I mean, looking at his numbers last year, was 38, almost 3,900 passing yards, 28 TDs, 11 picks, 17 games. The quarterback rating, though, however, was 48.0, ranking 25th among all NFL quarterbacks. So, this contract, there's some interesting incentive-laden numbers in that too. So the signing was $13.65 million with a maximum value of $19.5. So there's $6 million in incentives almost sitting out there. Playoff berth, 500,000. What are the odds of that? I'd like to see Vegas odds on him sitting there. How wild card win? I'll tell you what, if we had a wild card win, that would probably be a successful season for us. Going into it at this point, wouldn't you say?
I mean, right now they have us at over or under at 9.5 wins.
And we're 500 to 1 to go ahead and make it. But again, then that's kind of contradictory to what Freight Train said. Even if we do make it to the playoffs and win a game and then lose, we're still smired in the middle. We're
Right.
still in
Right.
purgatory.
There we are again. 9 and 8,
Yeah.
8 and 9.
Right.
Right. We haven't improved anything. It's all in or bust. All in or bust. So where I was going a minute ago was with TJ sitting out because we haven't signed a contract, and we're going to sign a contract, which is probably why we're really not talking about this too much.
Yeah.
Is it really possible that now, okay, we do need to pick up another receiver, and they're trying to shuffle money to make sure they have the money to go after somebody and take care of TJ and still have a little left over for that mid-season pickup? Because that's part of the business, man, that we as fans don't think about.
Mhm.
We think it's just as simple as waving a magic wand and, hey, come on over, man.
I don't know.
Steelers.
Yeah. We want all the good players over here.
Yeah.
All of
Right. But we know it don't necessarily work that way.
Right.
No. I think, see, and the thing is, TJ's not taking any sort of a discount on this deal whatsoever, like pretty much the last one. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a huge, huge deal on top of what we just signed DK Metcalf for. So I don't know where that really puts us salary cap wise once this, I guess when he gets signed with this one, doesn't it hit until the next following off season onto the cap? It doesn't necessarily really reflect on this season's salary cap.
Well, this is final year this year, right?
Yeah, it all depends on how they go ahead and they restructure.
Yeah.
That's where it boils down to. It's all part of the restructure.
Right.
But I mean,
his name on the dotted line, that's where it starts.
yeah, and I think the catching point on this, I heard some comments today on it, is the term, not so much the money. But, the other point of that is, why did Steelers wait so long? And now these other guys are getting signed. Who Garrett's the top paid defensive player in the league now? Is it Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
Well, it's about to be Micah Parsons.
All right. So
Yeah.
now here we are. Are we going to have to match that or give him a better contract?
So in all reality, that's probably what's really happening. We're waiting to see that the Cowboys sign Micah Parsons at 14.5, and then at that time we'll have to sign TJ at 15. Because
it's all a
TJ's
waiting
not
game
going
at this point.
That's exactly what it is. We all know TJ is the number one defensive end out there, pass rusher out there. Everybody knows it. He wants to be paid like it, and you can't blame the guy.
No, absolutely not. He's been
You
the
signed him for
staple
3
of our
years?
football team. He's been the reason why we win most of the time.
Yeah,
So-
when he's not in, we lose for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's been proven over and over again.
I mean, I can't think of very many other defensive players that have single-handedly won football games. Not very many.
Yeah, when he's on, he's just creating all kind of havoc.
And then some.
Yeah. I mean, I can think of at least 3 games off the top of my head that he single-handedly won for us.
Strip sack, fumble recovery for touchdowns. I mean,
Right.
Just,
Mhm.
eat a man.
So,
Oh, here we go. Just had one of the highest draw percentages as well. You can get the ball to our playmakers, and definitely times better than Russ. Defense has caught on to Russ with this 50-50 ball. Well, I would agree with that, Jess.
you mean Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the sky ball in his arsenal?
Moon
like
ball.
Russell Wilson?
Ball, baby.
The moon ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Frank Zappa were down like that.
Well, I mean, that's what we're hoping for, Jesse. The question is like, how much Arthur Smith is going to be on board with that?
Yeah, and it's going to be about health too.
Is we could see incredible progress if he lets the quarterback do his thing and hit his receivers. Just let him run the offense. You know what I mean? And Russell Wilson was so clamped down that second Cincinnati game, he was not allowed to throw over the middle. That was the case.
Yep.
I mean, why would you do? I don't get that stuff. But playing in your fears, right?
According to Tom, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
But here's something we haven't talked about too: the defensive side of the ball. I know we talked about TJ, but what do you guys think about Derek Carmen? going ahead and being named number
Named the starter
one
already. Yeah.
already.
I kind of already thought that was going to happen
Had
either
a
way.
pretty good feeling too.
know.
Yeah.
That was a big hole in our defense last year.
And that way they could move what's his name over.
Benton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Benton was coming on pretty good. Plus, you still got Cam. Logan Lee was coming on last year. Still got Leo. And we don't even know about Yaya. Yaya.
Yeah.
I've heard Loudermilk's done some good things too in camp again, but we hear that every year.
We
And it doesn't translate into the regular season.
Here's a name. I actually saw a camp interview of this guy. First time I've heard his name mentioned in almost a year now. Can you guess who it is? Speaking of defense.
Jack Sawyer.
Oh, that's a good one. But it's Cole Holcomb.
Cole Holcomb, you're right.
He does look
He said
pretty
he looks
jacked. I
pretty
saw
good.
a picture of him.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually seen the TikTok video of him running. Actually looked really good, keeping up with the young studs.
Good.
Oh, he looked like he just came off the set of Baywatch.
Baywatch.
Dude, it's jacked, bro.
Did you see Pamela out there running with him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming for you, Cole.
I thought Pamela was going to come into the picture right after him, you know?
Well, guys, I will say this. If you look at everything they've done in this offseason, we wanted to get big. We got big. We got big in the trenches. We've plugged some holes in that middle of that defense with our linebackers like we ain't never seen. We doubled down on our edge rushers. We even went out and we provided backup in the back half of our lineup and went ahead. Now, granted, you pick up Juan Thornhill, still a little bit out on what he's going to do. Is he going to recover? Brought back Miles Killebrew, still good. Deshaun Elliott played fantastic for us. I mean, and even in the running back room, Trey Sermon, Khalid Johnson, and we still got Jalen. I mean, everywhere and don't forget about Kenneth Gainwell. Everywhere you look, this team has brought in somebody to compete and bring out the best in each other. This is going to be a tough cut for a 53-man roster.
Well, and another good key signing, I think, that I think they kind of missed last year, and they didn't realize they were going to miss that, is we brought in Darius Slay, who's a veteran cornerback with Pro Bowl caliber play, to kind of team with Joey Porter on the other side, like they had with Patrick Peterson. I think they really missed that veteran leadership in the secondary last year that they had the year before.
Well, and honestly, I think that's something that Tomlin likes, and it goes back to Joe. I think that when he picked up Joe years ago, that was something that he seen was good to strengthen his backfield. Is what it is to have that veteran in
solid veteran guy back there. Right.
Yep. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised Joe hasn't come back to be a coach because he had that mentality, that personality. I think he could have did it. And speaking of coaching and veterans, guys, I got to really ask you, man, did anybody see or listen to Ben Roethlisberger's football on this podcast?
Oh, gosh.
Look,
I saw the post. I did not read the comments on it or what he said.
And I usually don't, but there was something that struck me on this, and it was about something about the headline was like veteran teaches rookies or something of that. And he actually went on the air, and it was almost as if he was defending himself. And he had made a statement that in the NFL, it is common for a veteran to not give mentoring to the guy underneath him or in the same room. Now, if he would have been a backup, absolutely he was there. And he compared himself to Byron Leftwich. Right. He said that when Byron first came in, he said that him and Byron hated each other. And then, of course, Byron left. And then he missed Byron. And then Byron come back. And then him and Byron were best buds because they were no longer competing. They knew Ben was the man. And Byron was there to help him, guide him, mentor him. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. You're telling me Mason Rudolph was that to you? Mason was your guide, your mentor, your spirit. And then not only that, then 2 days later, guys, this is what gets me. Aaron Rodgers comes in. Hey, I got to meet Will. Will's a good guy. He's pretty talented. He's throwing the ball out there. Really looking forward to working with him, helping him out. Matter of fact, I think I even sit beside him right now in the quarterback's room.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing it to me. I'm going to help him out.
Here's the exact quote, TA. It says, I'm going to be with him every single day in every single meeting. He said, I found my seat next to him today in the offensive meeting. Whether or not that sticks, I'm going to be right next to Will Howard.
I'm going to be right there. DK Metcalf comes in. Man, Austin's a little jitterbug. Man, that guy's got talent. I'm excited to work with him. I can't wait. These young guys are coming up. They're picking my brain. I want to hand them all the information I can give them. Now, is Ben telling us the truth and these guys are whitewashing us right now? Or are these guys really the consummate pro and Ben was just really a prick? And this is why we're talking about the game quarterback situation today.
I'm going to go with prick because
it was that simple.
Yeah,
it was that cut and dry.
Because
and that's your man. You love him.
I know.
You've got the poster on your wall, just like I had a Farrah. You've got a Ben in a bikini. I know it. I've seen it.
I got the whole shrine in my closet. Yeah, but I am going to go with prick because there was a guy named Charlie Batch that was always behind Roethlisberger, showing him how to, the ins and outs of the NFL. Alex Smith was a consummate pro and taught Patrick Mahomes how to be a pro and didn't cry about it. That happens in the NFL all the time. So I don't know exactly where Ben's coming from because you see it all the time of these older quarterbacks. It's happening right now in Cleveland with Joe Flacco and their young quarterback situation. It happens. So I'm going with prick there.
And Flacco is loving it from everything I'm reading about that.
Yeah.
Flacco doesn't care if he starts or if he sits. He's just having the time of his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a personable thing with Roethlisberger because it's simply not true.
And what do you think, JT? I'd like to hear your comments.
Well, I like Bob's. Rodgers might be settling down now that he got married. Hey, Larry.
I don't know. Bob, we're still waiting to see. We think that the ring is a plant. We're going to start that rumor tomorrow on TikTok. It's going to go viral. You just wait and see. He's married to a German Shepherd. We're going to get to meet him at the fashion show.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Oh, we got a birthday coming up. Larry's birthday next Saturday.
Hey, Larry, get a hat for your birthday.
Happy birthday, Larry.
I think he's already positioned himself for that. My birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Larry.
And we're glad you're listening, Larry. We love you, buddy. But anyways.
Well, I'm just cautiously semi-optimistic, but I'm keeping the bar low because like freight train, like we talked about, like we went through last year, like that ups and like, I'm not expecting much. I'm hoping for more and, see how it goes. Am I going to watch? Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
I didn't really want to.
We need your opinion, JT. Was he a prick or not a prick?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We got
he was
it on record
with a capital D.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? We had another great quarterback that was the same damn way, too.
I mean, he was a dick, too. Yeah.
He was a dick, too. I mean, let's face it.
Still is.
And you know what? The same thing that we've been talking about with this guy who's on our team now, he's a prick and a dick as well, too. I mean, this is what it takes to win a Super Bowl in the NFL. You got to be a prickly dickly.
I guess.
Just rename that position. Head dick.
Dick. Yeah.
What position you play, dick? Somebody's got to come in behind the center. Oh.
Hey, we already had one guy playing quarterback for a team named Dick Shiner, so.
That's
That's
too funny.
That's
Well-
not as bad as Richard Head.
Hey, look, there's still nothing better than Dick Trickle.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Dick Trickle in turn number 4 coming for the checkered flag.
Michael Hunt to the office, please. Michael.
Oh man. That's fantastic.
Well, you know what that proves, boys? It's time to hit the hot tub.
Time to hit the hot tub.
Time to hit the hot tub.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, hey, good to
Man,
meet.
this was fun. I missed this. This was
I
a
know.
blast.
I was just gonna say it's good to have the Trey Amigos back in the fold.
We'll have to do this again sometime.
Plus one, the producer. Thanks for producing today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, Larry, Bob, Jesse, Andre. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you all the time. That's why we do this, because we love talking to our fans about their thoughts and stuff. So good to be with you guys, man. Have a great rest of your week. Got a baseball tournament this weekend. Hope we don't get rained out again like we did the last 2 weekends.
Yeah. Hey, while I got a minute here, I just want to tell you fine gentlemen, I hope you guys have a fantastic Father's Day Sunday.
Good call, Dad.
And all our Steelers fans out there, happy Father's Day. It's your day. Go out, grill something. Hopefully it doesn't rain. We have beautiful weather for our Father's Day. I'm hoping to be home for Father's Day. We'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah,
But
let's hope so. Everybody should be home all dads should be home for Father's Day.
you would think. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was a national holiday, but whatever.
Yeah.
Especially Steelers Nation, if you feel it in your soul.
Feel what in your soul? Oh,
JT,
careful.
Careful in the hot tub, Steeler.
Damn, he about left.
Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast.